Hey guys, welcome back to Cruising Through China, where I'm dedicated to showing you what China is like on the ground instead of just telling you so you can decide for yourself. Okay, and today's topic is what is it like living in a Chinese city? Okay, of course, today I can't cover too much, but it'll be a very light touch about what I see on a daily basis living in a Chinese city. So, first of all, we're here at the subway station right around the time when people are coming out of work. And as you can see right here, this guy is selling hot dogs right off of his bike. Okay, selling hot dogs on a stick, which is a very popular Chinese snack. So these vendors will come right up to the subway station entrance to entice any person that's waiting for a snack. And right over here, this girl is trying to sell these flowers. Okay, so what do I mean by sell these flowers? So, first of all, these flowers will cost 1 yuan to buy for one flower. But with that, she wants you to scan this QR code. Okay, right now you see like she's trying to use a translation app to communicate with me. And so this is a marketing tactic that is used by a lot of people in China, which is they will sell something at a very minimum price for you to scan their code in order to follow their group, follow their store, okay, follow their online store. And this is a ploy that a lot of people will use just to get their numbers up, okay, the number of people that are following their store. Okay, here we have a chicken leg vendor on a three-wheeler. And this is a very normal sight. What's not normal about this is that she's got a cat right there sleeping. So you might ask yourself, why are there so many people selling snacks? But this has become a very popular trend in China recently, and even young people have started doing it. Here is a cold noodle vendor, and right next to her, we have a guy selling grapes. So let's take a ride on my electric bike and see what's happening in the city. So right now I'm riding through one of these alleyways that's gonna have a lot of restaurants on both sides. So maybe you can't see too clearly, but on the right side there are restaurants, bigger family restaurants for people to sit down with their families to eat. And on the left side we have more casual dining restaurants for people to sit down and have a very casual meal, usually with a few dishes from the restaurant. One of my favorites uh, spicy duck places is right around here, so I'll come here from time to time to try it. And on my left side, there's also a hot pot restaurant that sells really spicy hot pot if you're into that. But this is pretty much the normal scene in my city, especially during this time. Maybe more people will start to pile in during the dinner time. And so, yeah, we're just taking a ride around in the city. I'm really just going around the block, but just to show you what kind of things we see and give you a little explanation, I will be talking to you while I'm riding. So, as you can see, these very tall buildings are actually apartment buildings. So, these are all apartment buildings, and there are many, many apartment buildings in throughout the city. Okay. So, as I said before, I'm actually riding an electric bike. I'm not riding a gasoline motorbike, but it's actually electric. And so, at the end of the day, I will plug in my bike into an outlet just like I would with any other electric device. And it needs approximately 10 to 12 hours to charge up for full charge. And my bike can probably last 2 or 3 days without being charged. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bit of traffic, especially during the time when people get off work. And maybe I'll do another video about that. But I'm actually driving in the wrong direction now. And the reason for that is because this would be driving across the highway. I want to get to the other side, but there's actually no way to get to the other side without getting to the crosswalk, which happens to be in the north direction. So all these people are going past me. But I'll tell you, this is not an uncommon scene in China, or at least in my city, where people will occasionally drive on the wrong side, especially delivery drivers that want to get to their destination. And all of these guys that you see in yellow and driving bikes with these yellow boxes or the blue boxes as well, these are all delivery drivers in China, and there are so many, right? And so, what do people in China use delivery for? So, of course, they use it for delivery food, right? For your lunch or your dinner, but also for groceries, also for medicine, pretty much anything you can buy online, okay, in the online stores that exist, such as Meituan, okay, or Olama. And there are quite a few different online stores where you can purchase all of these things and they will deliver it to right where you are. And it's so convenient. Though I'm not a big user of delivery services, but it is something that people use a lot in China. So it has generated a lot of revenue in that industry. And in fact, a lot of people, a lot of young people have turned to becoming a delivery driver to make some cash. And so I would consider it the new Chinese blue collar job, which is in delivery services, which is in taxi services. So these kinds of jobs are in demand because convenience is a key tenet of the Chinese market. China tries to make everything more quick, easy, and convenient, and therefore easy for customers to access, get their goods, leave their comments, leave their satisfaction, and on to the next customer, because we have millions and millions of people all within the same space, the same region of a city. And if you weren't aware, the cities, the top tier cities that exist in China, all have over 10 million people, possibly even close to 15 and upwards million people. I know my city is probably almost at 15 million people. And this is a fact of life that you have to live with. Another thing that I'll probably get into with another video, or I should, is the biggest drawback of living in a Chinese city is there are people everywhere all the time. You cannot go anywhere where people wouldn't be there or aren't there. And especially if there's some event or reason for people to come to the same place, as in going to popular places such as restaurants for dinner, it will always be packed and you will have to wait. There will be people surrounding you all the time, during the day at least. You really cannot escape people. And especially when we talk driving on this e-bike, which, let's talk about how I first feared driving in China in general. In the first number of years that I lived here, I told myself I would never drive in China. I would never get on a bike, an e-bike. Of course, I've used the share bikes, which is safer technically, but these electric bikes can be dangerous just because there are so many people around. And driving here, it's packed. There's traffic at various times. And the worst part about it is blind spots. When you get to a blind spot and you don't think anybody is there, there will be a person who just appears out of thin air right in front of you. And that could be a very dangerous situation. And it happens all the time. So to get into that, maybe I'll make another video. If you like this driving style video, if you like seeing it from this perspective, then I'd appreciate your comments. If you like this video, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.